Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Julia, and I'm very happy to be here with you. In this episode, we are going to talk about something very important for English learners: how to make your brain think in English. Now, you may ask, why should I think in English? Well, when you think in English, speaking becomes easier. You don't need to translate every word from your native language into English. Translation takes time, and sometimes you may forget words. But if you train your brain to think directly in English, your speech will become faster, smoother, and more natural. In the next 20 minutes or so, I will share with you many useful tips and easy steps. These steps will help you train your brain to use English more and more in your daily life. Don't worry if you are a beginner. I will use simple words and simple examples so you can understand everything. So get ready, stay relaxed, and let's begin our journey to train the brain to think in English. Now that we are ready, let's talk about why thinking in English is so important. First, when you think in English, you save time. Imagine this. You want to say something in English, but first you think in your native language. Then you try to translate it into English. By the time you find the right words, the moment is gone. It feels slow and stressful, but if your brain is already thinking in English, the words come out faster. You can answer questions quickly and with more confidence. Second, thinking in English helps your fluency. Fluency means speaking smoothly without long pauses or stopping all the time. If you think in English, your brain connects words more easily. You don't have to stop and search for the translation. This makes your speaking sound more natural, almost like a native speaker. Third, it helps you understand English better. When you listen to English movies, songs, or conversations, you don't want to always translate. If your brain is used to thinking in English, you can catch the meaning directly without going through another language. This makes listening much easier. And finally, thinking in English is useful for daily life. Maybe you want to travel to another country, or study in an English-speaking university, or talk with people at work. If your brain is trained to think in English, you can express yourself clearly, and you will feel more confident in every situation. So, thinking in English is not just about language, it's about freedom. The freedom to speak, understand, and connect with the world without fear. Now let's talk about a very common problem. Many English learners translate in their head before they speak. Maybe you do this too. You first think of a sentence in your native language and then you try to change it into English. Why does this happen? Well, it's natural. Your brain has used your native language for many years. It is the language you know best. So when you want to say something, your brain goes to the easy way, your native language first. But here is the problem. Translation takes time. Imagine you are in class and the teacher asks you a question in English. You think of the answer in your own language, then you try to find the English words. While you are thinking, other students are already answering. You feel slow and maybe even shy. Another problem is that translation is not always correct. Sometimes the grammar in your language is very different from English. If you translate word by word, the sentence may sound strange or even wrong. For example, in some languages you might say, I have 25 years, but in English we say, I am 25 years old. If you translate directly, people may understand you, but it won't sound natural. Also, translation makes you depend on your first language too much. Instead of learning English as its own language, you keep connecting it back to your mother tongue. This makes the learning process slower. So, yes, it's normal to translate in your head, but if you want to speak English more fluently, you have to break this habit. And don't worry, we will learn some easy steps to train your brain to think directly in English. All right, now let's talk about the very first step to train your brain to think in English. The first step is, start small with simple thoughts. Many learners think they must use long and difficult sentences right away, but that's not true. If you try to think of very big sentences, your brain will get tired, and you may feel frustrated. Instead, begin with short and simple sentences. For example, when you wake up in the morning, you can say in your head, I am waking up. I feel sleepy. I will brush my teeth, see? These are very small, easy sentences. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need big vocabulary. What's important is that your brain starts to use English, even for little things. Another example, when you are eating breakfast, think in English. I am eating bread. I like this tea. This food is hot. These simple sentences help your brain to make English a natural part of daily life. You can also think about your plans in English. For example, I will go to school. I need to finish my homework. I will meet my friend. Remember, the key is to keep it short. Just a few words are enough. When you do this every day, your brain slowly gets used to English. It's like exercise. If you do small exercises every day, your body gets stronger. If you think simple thoughts in English every day, your brain becomes stronger in English too. So don't wait for big moments to practice. Start small, start simple, and make English part of your everyday thinking. Now, let's move to the second step. You can train your brain to think in English by using your surroundings. What does this mean? It means you can look at the things around you and name them in English. For example, if you are in your bedroom, look around and say to yourself, "This is my bed. The window is open. I see my shoes." If you are in the kitchen, you can think, "I am washing a plate. The water is cold. This spoon is on the table." It is like you are making a small story about the things you see. This simple exercise makes English real, not just something from a textbook. Another way is to describe what people are doing. For example, if you are at a park, you can think, "The children are playing. A man is walking his dog. The sun is shining." This practice helps you connect English with your everyday life. The more you do it, the faster your brain will start using English automatically. So remember, your room, your street, your school, your office, everywhere around you is a free English classroom. You just need to notice it and use it. The next step is very powerful. Talk to yourself in English. Now, I know this may sound a little funny, but it really works. When you talk to yourself, you don't need to worry about mistakes. No one is listening, so you can relax. This is your private practice time. One way to do this is the mirror exercise. Stand in front of a mirror and speak to yourself in English. You can introduce yourself. "Hello, my name is Julia. I am learning English. I like reading books." You can also practice daily conversations like, "Good morning. How are you?" "I am fine, thank you." "What will I do today?" "I will study." Another method is self-question and answer. You ask yourself a question in English, then answer it in English. For example, "What do I want to eat?" "I want to eat rice." "What time is it now?" "It is 2 o'clock." This helps your brain to practice both sides of a conversation. The more you talk to yourself in English, the more natural it will feel. At first, you may need to think slowly, but after some practice, the words will come faster. So don't be shy. Your best practice partner is yourself. Speak out loud, think in English, and make it part of your daily life. Now let's talk about another fun way to train your brain. Use imagination and storytelling. Your imagination is very powerful. You can use it to practice English anywhere, even when you are alone. For example, imagine you are in another country. Maybe you are in London. Think in English. "I am walking on the street. I see a red bus. I am buying coffee." You are not really there, but your brain believes the story, and you are practicing English at the same time. Another way is to create small stories in your head. For example, imagine a cat is talking to you. You can think, "Hello, I am a cat. I am hungry." Then you answer, "Oh, hello, cat. I will give you food." It may sound simple, but this helps your brain stay in English mode. You can also pretend to explain something to a friend. For example, explain how to cook rice or how to play football. Use simple English words. Even if no one is listening, your brain is practicing. Storytelling and imagination are not just for children. They are powerful tools to make English more natural for you. So, don't be afraid to imagine. Create little stories, play roles in your head, and keep your brain busy with English. Another great way to train your brain is by using English media. Media means the things we listen to and watch, like podcasts, movies, TV shows, YouTube videos, and even songs. When you listen to English podcasts or watch English movies, try not to translate everything into your native language. Instead, try to understand the meaning directly in English. At first, this may feel difficult, but little by little your brain will get used to it. Here's a simple exercise. Watch a short video in English. After watching, close your eyes and think in English about what you saw. For example, the girl was cooking. The man was driving a car. They were talking in a restaurant. Another exercise is to repeat short phrases after you hear them. For example, if you hear in a movie, "How are you today?" Repeat it in the same way. This helps your brain remember natural English sentences. Music is also very useful. When you listen to English songs, try to catch some easy words and repeat them. Even 1 or 2 words are enough to keep your brain in English mode. So, make English part of your daily entertainment. Instead of only watching or listening in your native language, choose English sometimes. This small habit can make a big difference in how your brain thinks. Now, let's talk about daily practice. Many learners ask, how much time should I spend every day to think in English? My answer is simple. A little every day is better than a lot once a week. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a big difference if you are consistent. Here are some easy tips you can try. First, set a small goal. For example, every morning, think of 3 sentences in English about your day. You could say, "Today is Monday. I will go to school. I feel happy." Second, write your thoughts in a small diary or notebook, but only in English. Don't worry about grammar. Just write simple sentences. This helps your brain connect writing and thinking in English. Third, use waiting time. When you are waiting for a bus, walking to school, or standing in line, think in English. Describe what you see or plan what you will do. Instead of wasting time, use it as English practice. And most important, be consistent. It is better to practice a little every day than to study for hours only once. Small steps, repeated daily, train your brain faster. So, remember, short daily practice, simple sentences, and regular habits will help you think in English naturally. Before we finish, I want to share some motivation with you. Learning to think in English takes time. It does not happen overnight, and that is completely normal. Sometimes you may feel slow or make mistakes. You may think, "Why am I not improving?" Remember, every small step counts. Every sentence you think in English, every word you practice, is making your brain stronger. Be patient and kind to yourself. Don't compare yourself with others. Focus on your own progress. The more you practice, the more natural English will feel. And most importantly, enjoy the process. Make English a fun part of your daily life. Talk to yourself, imagine, listen, and watch English media. Every little effort adds up. Believe in yourself. Your brain can learn this, and with daily practice, you will soon start thinking in English without even noticing it. Keep going. You are doing great. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for listening and spending time with me. Today, we learned how to train your brain to think in English, starting small, using your surroundings, talking to yourself, imagining stories, listening to English media, and practicing every day. Remember, it takes time, but every little effort counts. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and most importantly, enjoy the process. Soon, you will notice your brain naturally thinking in English, and your speaking will become smoother and faster. I hope you found this episode helpful. Don't forget to practice a little every day, and I will see you in the next episode of the English Learning Podcast. Goodbye for now, and keep thinking in English.